Welcome back, where regional security takes regional cooperation. And over the last 30 years, Egypt has played a pivotal role in maintaining peace in the Middle East. Gail McCabe reports from Cairo, where long-term cooperation and engagement were recently celebrated.
Egypt, land of pharaohs and pyramids, a crossroads between the Middle East and Africa, where the icons of the past merge with the present. The capital, Cairo, is the focal point, recognized as the most densely populated and the biggest city in Africa. For the U.S., Cairo also serves as home to one of America's largest office of military cooperation. Major Alvaro Roa says it's a very different assignment.
We help the Egyptians, we advise the Egyptians, and it's very rewarding.
He's part of the core OMC team, a joint presence of more than 60. Since its inception in 1980, OMC is focused on helping Egypt modernize its military with over $29 billion in security assistance. The key to it all is history.
It was the very courageous decision of Israel and Egypt's leaders in 1979 that led to the peace treaty. And this has truly changed the outlook of this region.
The Camp David Accords, brokered by then-President Jimmy Carter, signaled the end to war between Egypt and Israel and shaped the first step in a solid bilateral relationship.
The relationship between Egypt and the United States is based on a wide variety of programs and initiatives and events like this.
The OMC Gala is an annual affair, this year celebrating 3 decades of cooperation and engagement.
We've been doing this for 30 years. We're beginning to see the fruits of some things only now that we did 30 years ago.
Big things like exercises, like the biannual Bright Star, and opportunities for Egyptian military to come to the States.
We value this, and it's very good for both sides. That's why we build this friendship and we build this relationship as a good ally, as a good friend.
A friend who shares in many things, like a celebration marking 30 years of engagement. Gail McCabe, Cairo.
Egypt is also America's second largest recipient of foreign military sales and, as we just saw, is one of the strongest partners in the region. Gail McCabe also spoke with the U.S. ambassador to Egypt about this long-standing relationship.
Give me, if you could, some perspective on the relationship between Egypt and the United States.
I think it's important to keep in mind that Egypt is the most populous country in the Arab world. It sits in a very strategic location at the crossroads of the Middle East, of Africa, and at the southern end of the Mediterranean. Egypt not only currently plays an important role in regional issues, global issues, but it has historically played this for a very long time.
Is Egypt the strong partner that we need, that we want in this area?
Egypt has been a consistent partner in the search for peace for nearly 30 years. It was the very courageous decision of Israel and Egypt's leaders in 1979 that led to the peace treaty. And this has truly changed the outlook of this region from one of persistent war to one of the search for the conclusion of this, which will be a comprehensive peace in the region.
Diplomacy is its own venue, its own role. But I understand the relationship that diplomacy has with all of the other aspects of American culture, like the military. How important are they in the relationship with Egypt?
Very important. I would say that is probably a truism around the world these days. As a result of Egypt, for example, since the Camp David Accords, we have put in around $60 billion of U.S. funding, both for the Egyptian military as well as for Egyptian economic development. And as I said, the two sides go hand in hand, and without solid security, you don't get much in the way of social and economic development, but we have contributed enormously to the modernization of Egypt's armed forces and consider the Egyptian military an excellent partner with the United States. Egyptian forces participate in peacekeeping operations now, for example, in Darfur and elsewhere in Africa.
So when we're talking about Egypt, what are the challenges?
Well, I think the challenges are ones of how do you continue to keep a partnership current and relevant to the new challenges of the 21st century. President Obama came to Egypt last June and really talked about a new beginning between the United States and the Muslim world. And I think we have been seeing our efforts in Egypt, and I think around the world, have been trying to fulfill this. So that is the challenge. How do we maintain a relationship of mutual interest and mutual respect, continue to move forward on our engagement, and to continue focusing on the immediate problems of peace and security in this region?
Madam Ambassador, thank you for your time.